Anyway, let's get into this. So this morning, more stories coming out that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will take control next week. The day Monday has been mentioned. I've been speaking to Ben Jacobs a bit. I've been speaking to a few other people that this is the latest with Manchester United sale news. It's not getting announced on Monday. It is not being announced on Monday. You know why it's not being announced on Monday? Because on Monday, it's Sir Bobby Charlton's funeral. There is Man United might get some things wrong in relation to how they handle PR. You know, the Greenwood thing was an absolute disaster on Richard Arnold's watch, let's be honest. But this club is absolutely not going to announce a Glazer pocketing of money on the day of the great Sir Bobby Charlton. So there is no announcement on Monday, and any newspaper or any outlet that thinks they're going to announce it on Monday can get in the bloody bin. No one gives a shit. It's about Sir Bobby Charlton on Monday. There will be no announcement from Manchester United or the Glazers or anybody else on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe, but not on Monday. It's not going to happen. So people who think it's going to happen on Monday, it won't happen on Monday, quite rightly. I think where we're at with this sale stuff is that there is some progression and people are running away with it. I think that we have to look at the fact that there is going to be some sort of deal. And I think I said it a few days ago, it will be on the international break. But I would imagine I'm speaking to people like Ben Jacobs, who's been very good on this, that at some point there will be a meeting with all the shareholders. And remember, a few weeks ago, that was going to happen on a Thursday. So maybe next Thursday, we will get that meeting where something actually happens. And then as a result of that, there could be some announcement from there. But there are still things that need to be done, like a board vote to approve it, competition process. When does Sir Jim take control of the football club? If they do that next week, then there could be an announcement after that. But there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done. And as Ben Jacobs said to me, it feels crazy that we've taken 11 months to get to this point, and then some people are reporting that we're going to get the deal done in 2 working days. It just won't happen. There's a lot of contradiction in what's going on, but I think undercurrent, we're getting very, very close to some sort of aspect of deal. But this whole... you've got to be very, very careful as well in relation to PR, haven't you, and spin? Because, as I said, I think a lot of this is about building momentum and excitement. And I just don't understand how any Manchester United fan that's been Glazer out can be excited about something that they just don't know what it is. How can you get excited about it? It's like the doctor ringing you up and saying, we need to see you. It's really important. And you're like, oh, you know what? I might have won the lottery. And everyone's looking at you going, yeah. It might not be that. It might be something bad. So, look, we just don't know what it's going to be. And some people are getting excited about it. And let's not forget, my firm belief is that all the positivity is coming from the Glazers. I think the Glazers are leaking stuff out. We get a lot of stuff coming from America, don't we? Where do the Glazers live? America. So I think we're getting a lot of positivity around this, and the Glazers are going to be positive about it, aren't they? Moving on, look, I just wanted to get that out of the way very, very quickly, because a lot of people getting excited about deals and everything like that, but logically, it's not going to happen on Monday, and I don't think it's going to happen next week. I think we'll get a lot of story around stuff, but I don't think it'll happen. Let's go to the Ten Hag story. Now, this is interesting, because there was a little bit of stuff last night that Sir Jim wants to back Ten Hag, but then certain people who might be involved don't. I think what this is speculation. And then there's a story that's come out this morning about Ten Hag potentially losing his job. So let's start with the stuff last night. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, from what we know, will back Erik Ten Hag. Man City came in and backed Mark Hughes and then they sacked him. A lot of owners sack the manager. It happens, especially when the team is not performing to the level they want to be. I would not be surprised... I am not surprised that there is a little bit of speculation around Erik Ten Hag's position. United have had a dreadful start to the season and we're about to get somebody who's going to invest in the football club. The difference is it's not a full owner. He's not the owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He is a partial owner, a 25% owner. If he says he wants to sack Erik Ten Hag and the Glazers say no, I don't think he can do that because he doesn't own the football club. And this is where I think it's not false reporting, it's just naive reporting. Somebody was talking last night and they were saying, well, actually, it was a sort of a conversation going on social media, that Sir Jim Ratcliffe might not want to get rid of Erik ten Hag, but his new CEO or his new director of football might advise he gets rid of Ten Hag, which could then lead to Sir Jim Ratcliffe getting rid of Ten Hag. It's a very good conversation, and it's a very valid point. But the issue is, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe brings in a CEO and a director of football and they say, we don't like Ten Hag, we need to get rid of him, Sir Jim can't sack Ten Hag, because Sir Jim has to then go to the Glazers and say, we need to sack Ten Hag. And the Glazers can say, well, you only own 25%, we own 75%, and it'll cost us a load of money to get rid of him. We're not getting rid of him. So this is what I mean. People start talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe sacking Erik ten Hag. He'll only own 25%, as far as we know. We don't know what decisions he can and can't make. And I guarantee you, under the Glazers, he won't be able to make decisions which are writing checks without them saying yes. So I think people are wandering down this alleyway that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's buying the club and he can sack Erik ten Hag. Hello? He's only buying 25%. Can't sack anybody without the Glazers saying he can sack someone. Now, the Glazers might well say to him, we don't care, you can do what you want. But they still own the football club. And this is what I mean. People are I don't think they're manipulating their minds that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to own the club. He doesn't own the club. As far as we know, it's 25%. So PJ says he might have sporting control. Do you know what sporting control is, PJ? Do you actually know what sporting control is? Because again, this is people just running away with themselves, thinking they know something that they have got no idea about. And I've got no idea about. You know why we've got no idea about it, PJ? Because no one's told us. People are speculating about what Sir Jim can and can't do to suit their own agenda. So PJ, you're telling me I've got a business. I sell you 25% and I say run the sporting side. I go on holiday and I come back, you've spent £100 million on players and you've sacked the manager. Do you think I'm going to go, oh, yeah, you've got control? Nonsense. Nonsense. The guy who owns the restaurant doesn't run the restaurant. He gets a restaurant manager to do it. But if that restaurant manager starts writing checks without running it through the owner, he's going to get into big, big trouble. There is no way that sporting control means go and spend what you like, go and sack what you like, without running it through the owners who ultimately are only interested in money. And this is what I mean about what people are getting excited about, because you don't know what sporting control means. Sporting control could mean I can sack the manager, I can buy who I like. Sporting control could mean every decision I make that involves money, I have to get it signed off by Joel Glazer, which is what has been happening for the last 10 years. We don't have this detail. And I would say to those people who want to go, well, I want to believe Sir Jim's got the control. Why? What in Man United's recent history thinks that you should jump on the positive and trust the positive story? We must always be cynical under this ownership because they lie, they cheat, they take money out of this football club, they're deceitful, they try and take us into super leagues that we never even know about until it's too late. I don't trust anything until I see it written down as to what's going to happen.